What's going on, everyone? Gormy here. Today we are going to be rebuilding a very historic club, and a club that has found themselves with a lot of money now recently, and that is none other than Newcastle United. But this isn't going to be any ordinary Newcastle United rebuild where we just spend loads of money, try and win as many trophies as possible. No, no, no. We are going to put major restrictions on ourselves with this rebuild with Newcastle United, as we are going to be doing a Moneyball rebuild with Newcastle United. For those of you that don't know what a Moneyball rebuild is, that is kind of going over the analytics side of things within football. It was originally done in baseball here in the United States with Oakland Athletics, where they found value where other people did not. So we are going to try and find value where people do not see it. Try and spend as little money as possible, even though we have a boatload here with Newcastle. We're going to try and spend as little money as possible to win some trophies with Newcastle United and bring some success to this historic club. So if you guys do happen to enjoy today's video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so why not hit that sub button. But without further ado, let's see what rules I have put into place for this rebuild. So, the Newcastle Moneyball rebuild rules. We are only going to be allowed to spend £25 million max on signings. Yes, we have hundreds of millions of pounds with Newcastle United, but we are only allowed to spend the max of £25 million on a player. That includes add-ons as well. So, we're also only going to be able to sign players 28 years old and younger. We are not going to be chasing after the big names like Mbappe or Salah, etc. when they have free contracts, because Mbappe does have a free contract season 1. We will not be pursuing him. We are going to sign good value for money players, meaning sign value where other clubs do not see it. We're going to sign based off of season stats. So we're going to try and aim for a 7.0 plus match rating. We're going to look at their goals to their XG, their pass shot tackle percentage, and clean sheets and conceded goals for our keepers. And we're only going to have 3 seasons to make a success of Newcastle United. So as we can see here, loaded up with Newcastle United. We are on day 1 of the season. And the only thing I have done so far is set up our tactics, because I am not going to make any transfers in the first transfer window, being that we have, I believe it is 113 million pounds. And I feel that just would not be fair with what I am wanting to do with this club. So we're going to simulate the first season with no changes made, except tactically, we are going with a 4-2-3-1, going to try and get the best out of the squad that is already set in place for us. And I want to see what players are going to be good enough to stick around for season 2, because whatever players aren't good enough to stick around, we will most definitely be shipping them out. Now, there are 2 players I wanted to highlight real quick within this Newcastle United squad that I hope have a great first season for us so that they can stick around. Number 1 is Alan St. Maximin. He will be playing on that left-hand side more than likely, because I'm not going to solidify any players to play any certain position. I just want to set up this 4-2-3-1 and see how the team does, see where our assistant manager plays the players. And he's really good on the left side, really good on the right. He can also play striker. We only have 1 striker spot with the 4-2-3-1, but the other man that I'm about to mention, I feel he'll do a pretty good job within that spot. And that man is Callum Wilson. I'm hoping Callum Wilson can do a good enough job to where we can have him kind of as a talisman for this rebuild here. Because, I mean, if we don't have to spend, I'd say, if we don't have to spend 50 million pounds to bring in 2 strikers, both being like 25 million pounds each, that would be nice, to where we can have Callum Wilson throughout this whole rebuild, because he is a very, very solid player, very good within FM as well. So if him and Alan St. Maximin can produce in season 1, that would be massive. But now, without further ado, let's see how we do in season 1. So, season 1 is come and gone, and I don't even have to scroll down very far because we are right here in 5th place. We are in a European spot with a side that was unchanged, and all we did was set up a 4-2-3-1. This team did very, very well, as we can see, with 22 wins, 6 draws, 10 losses. So, kind of unfortunate that we did have the 10 losses, because if we had lost one less game and won that game, we could have been in 4th, have a top 4 placing in our first season, which is absolutely wild. I mean, Liverpool absolutely ran away with the league on 98 points. But first season with Newcastle United, no changes made, just setting it up how we want to play things, and a 5th place finish, absolutely amazing. So now, looking at how the squad did overall throughout all competitions, I wanted to sort by average match rating, because I want to keep the players that are a 7.0 or above, because they are doing very, very well. They're doing their jobs, and they are helping us to that top 5 finish. And I am going to cut some players some slack, those players being Joelinton and Bruno Guimaraes, because, I mean, they were just on the cusp of missing out on that 7.0, but everyone else will most likely be moved on if we can get some deals done for them. But one thing I was very happy to see was Mr. Callum Wilson doing absolutely unreal, scoring 43 goals, and 40 of them in the Premier League, which is absolutely nuts, averaging a 7.64 rating for the season. These next 2 players I'm about to mention defensively did absolutely incredible. Mr. Dan Burn, he chipped in with 3 goals and 2 assists, but tackle win percentage-wise, wish it was higher, not going to lie, but 95% passing will definitely take, and an average rating of a 7.36. He was a rock in the back for us. And then another player, Mr. Kieran Trippier, I hope he is going to be our mainstay on that right side this entire rebuild, because the dude is a great, great leader, great veteran, and he is a quality player within this side. He had a goal and 9 assists, and he had an average of a 7.24. Wish that tackle percentage was a little bit higher, same with that passing percentage, but very, very solid season overall, chipping in with 9 assists. That's absolutely massive. Mr. Alan St. Maximin, who I was hoping to have a big season for us, did indeed have a big season for us, chipping in with 11 goals and 12 assists in the league, slightly underperforming his XG, but did pretty solid. His average rating overall was a 7.13, but a 7.11 in the league. And I mean, his shots on target percentage was 46%. So, I mean, if he had a little bit higher, maybe he matches his XG. But I mean, overall, very, very solid season from him. Now, before we get into who we brought in, which we splashed the cash, yes, we did, but we did not spend over 25 million pounds on a player, which I'm very, very happy that I was able to pull it off for the players that we were able to bring in, and that includes with the add-ons. So we did not have to pay over 25 million pounds for any of these players that you guys are about to see. But on the outs, we did make 22 million pounds in the first kind of window of the summer, and then 19 million pounds in the second window of the summer, which, I mean, isn't really gonna make too big of a difference for us, but we have lost the likes of like John Joe Shelby, Javi Manquillo, Chris Wood, Isaac Hayden, those types of players that did not perform to the ability that I was hoping for them to be able to stick around. But now let's see the players that we brought in. Signing number 1 was a defender. I thought that if we brought in a defender, we probably could have done a little bit better in the league and the cups. And I mean, being that we're going to be within Europe, we are going to need some big time defenders. And Duje Kletekar, I definitely feel, is going to be a very, very solid player for us. Bought him from Marseille for 12 million pounds. He had a very, very solid season. He's good in the air, good defensively, like I said, good with both feet, and he's 6'4", and he's an absolute unit with 16 strength. Last season for Marseille, he featured in 31 league games. He did not have any goals. However, continentally, he was able to chip in with 2 assists, and he had 2 player of the match performances. He also averaged a 7.14 overall throughout all competitions, but in continental competitions, he averaged a 7.32, which is mainly why I wanted to bring him in, because if he can perform like that in the Europa Conference League, I'm hoping he can perform to a, I guess, equivalent-ish level in the Europa League for us. Next player we brought in, dipped in to League once again. We went to FC Nantes this time and brought in a player by the name of Ludovic Blas, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He is a 24-year-old central midfielder and center attacking mid who can somewhat play on the right and left wing, which is good because we play 4-2-3-1, so he could play centrally or off the wings for us. And what I really, really liked about this guy is that he has great playmaking ability. He's got 16 passing, 15 technique, 15 first touch, 15 vision, and he is pretty solid with both feet as well. So I'm hoping that a player like this will really be able to complement a player like Alan St. Maximin very, very well within this type of setup. So we brought him in for £9 million, once again from FC Nantes in Ligue 1, and I was very happy with the way that he performed within Ligue 1 because he had 12 goals and 5 assists, but overall, throughout all competitions, meaning Ligue 1 and the French Cup, he had 14 goals and 6 assists and averaged a 7.12. He averaged a 7.11 within the league, and a player like this for £9 million, absolute bargain in my opinion. Next up, we've got Matheus Zaracho, who I ended up signing from the Brazilian Premier League. Not for a whole lot, actually, because usually players from the Brazilian Premier League, South America in general, who are quality players, go for a pretty penny. We were able to get Matheus Zaracho for £10 million, which I absolutely love this deal because he is another player that can play centrally at central midfield or center attacking mid, and he can play on either wing if ever needed to do so. And this guy is a very, very well-rounded player, but mentally, he is very, very smart, which is why I wanted to bring him in, because I want someone who is smart with the ball and will not waste possession when he has it, either when we are in the Premier League or in the Europa League. So, like I said, brought him in for £10 million from the Brazilian First Division, and they do things a little bit differently down in South America. So, continental-wise, they play a lot more continental games than they do their league games off the rip in their seasons. So I was able to judge it off of, okay, from a continental perspective, playing against the best of the best in South America, how does this guy perform? And holy crap, was he good. In 10 games, he scored 2 goals, 3 assists, and averaged a 7.35. I absolutely love that from a central midfielder, and for £10 million, I will gladly take that in a player. Next up, we've got Moussa Niakate from FSV Mainz. I absolutely love this dude, so when the opportunity rose to where I would be able to sign him for very cheap, might I add, I definitely took it. Only had to pay £9 million for a player that will be an absolute game changer for us in the air. He only has 14 heading, but he's got 16 jumping reach, 6'3", 15 strength. He is a very, very solid defender, and he can not only play center back to a very good ability, but also left back. So we got versatility in this player for just £9 million. All right, so this is our first really major attacking addition here to our squad. We've got Karim Ekçerkoglu. That might be how you pronounce it. My Turkish viewers, please let me know how close I was to getting that right. I'm probably very, very off, but I gave it my best shot. But this kid has some pace. He also is a pretty decently smart player for just being 23 years of age. Brought him in from Galatasaray for £23.5 million. He is a very solid technical player, and this dude had an absolutely unbelievable season in the Turkish league. And if you guys, actually you guys can't see it because I'm slightly blocking it, but in World Cup qualifiers, he is averaging a 7.61 and has 2 goals and 2 assists in 7 games as a 23-year-old winger in what is a very experienced Turkish squad. Now, like I said, brought him in for £23.5 million from Galatasaray in the Turkish Super League, and this kid had a phenomenal season within the Turkish Super League. In 27 games, he had 9 goals, 5 assists, 2 player of the match performances, averaged a 7.43, and 43% of his shots were on target. So imagine he had maybe 55%, 60%, which would be absolutely bonker numbers. This kid would be a demigod. But overall in all competitions, he averaged a 7.30, had 12 goals and 7 assists. And continentally, even though he's just 23 years old, he had a 7.05 average rating continentally. And I know I'm saying only 23 years old. Yes, he is starting to work his way towards his prime, but I really, really like what we have gotten in this young kid from Galatasaray. Next, we go to Erik ten Hag's Ajax, now former Ajax manager, as he is now taken over at Man U in reality. But we went to Ajax, and I was looking for a young defensive-style player. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a flyer on Van Rynch. I think that's how you say it, hopefully. But he looks to be a very, very solid player. He's great with either foot. He can play right back, center defensive mid, somewhat center mid, and he can play left back. So he can do anything we need him to do, which is absolutely awesome. And I got him for £20 million. So basically, if we were to continue on into the future, this is Kieran Trippier's replacement right here. This kid is an absolute beast. He's only 19 years old. I'm really looking forward to what he can do for us. And here we go again, back to the Eredivisie, but this time to PSV Eindhoven for Olivier Bashagli. This guy can also play center back, center defensive mid, and left back, somewhat right back. Got 2 very versatile players from there. And yes, I said he could play center back. He's only 5'11", so he's on the shorter side, just like Van Rynch. He is also on the shorter side, but we got Olivier Bashagli for £3 million, and that's an absolute steal for someone that could play some big-time minutes if there are ever injuries, and if we need a super sub defensively, I definitely think he's our guy. So, goalkeeper-wise, I 100% found our goalkeeper for this entire rebuild, Dominik Livakovic from, I believe, Dinamo Zagreb? Yeah, Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia. Dominik Livakovic is absolutely incredible. He is 27 years old, so right before that cutoff of 28. We only paid £14 million to get him. And I mean, for a goalkeeper of this caliber, I would say that's pretty cheap. Because this guy in World Cup qualifying for Croatia, I mean, given Croatia is a very, very solid national team, but in 6 games he has 5 clean sheets. In 6 games he has 5 clean sheets. This dude is absolutely incredible. He has cat-like reflexes. He has good aerial reach at 6'2". Hopefully he can be the man between the sticks that really takes us to that next level. Now this man right here brought in for £8.5 million from Cincinnati in the MLS. I know that he is a very, very popular player, not just in the MLS, but also within FM. A lot of people like to use this guy, and I brought him in to be the backup, one of the backups to Callum Wilson, because there is another striker who can also play as a winger that I brought in. But Brenner, I'm hoping he gets some playing time. I know that I agreed to have him as a regular starter, but we'll see how the assistant manager plays him. I don't think he's going to get regular starting playing time, so hopefully the playing time that he does get, he does chip in with a goal here and there, because he has the holy trinity of dribbling, finishing, and first touch, and he is somewhat pacey as well. At left back, I brought in Renan Lodi. This guy is, in my opinion, a very underrated left back. I think he is a very, very creative left back, and that is why I brought him in. I want creativity out from the back. Kieran Trippier, we saw him get 9 assists this previous season. Hopefully Renan Lodi can chip in with 5, 6, maybe 7 That would be absolutely awesome. And they're former teammates, so what's not to like about that? He's got some pace. Brought him in for 20 million pounds from Atletico Madrid. So getting a player of this caliber for 20 million pounds, really, really happy about it. Now here is the signing that is the last one I paid for, and he is going to be, as it says up there, an important player because he can play on the right wing, he can sometimes play on the left, and he can play at striker. So when Callum Wilson needs a break, Karim Adeyemi's in. If Alan St. Maximin needs a break, or if our young Turkish winger needs a break, he can come in for them as well. So this wonder kid, Karim Adeyemi, bought for 24 million pounds, right on the brink of going over that 25 million pound mark. And I was lucky that I didn't have to put the add-ons that I thought I was going to have to make the deal good to go. I'm very happy we got this one over the line because Karim Adeyemi is going to be an absolute beast for us. And like I said, Karim Adeyemi was the last one I paid for. This is the last player that I brought in. I know that I've gone through a lot of players, but Boubacar Kamara is the one player I brought in on a free. And this kid, I'm hoping, can be a mainstay for us for years to come, especially if we were to go longer than the 3 seasons. I think Boubacar Kamara could be a Newcastle legend. I really, really do. He could play at center back, center defense mid, and central midfield. He'll most likely play the ball-winning midfielder role for us in midfield, or center back if needed due to injury or whatnot. But he is a good playmaker. He is good defensively as well. I love his work rate, and he's got some pace to him as well. So if he's playing in the back, we've got a playmaking machine with some pace out of the back, which could be very, very dangerous and work in our favor big time. So once again, we're going with the 4-2-3-1, not putting in any players. I want to see how we do with all these changes made to the team with bringing in all these players. We spent 153 million pounds, which is a lot, but did not break any of the rules, which I'm very, very happy I was able to do. So let's go ahead, simulate Season 2, and see how we get on, especially within Europe. So here we are at the league table. We finished in 7th. So we did drop down. We still finished in a Europa Conference League spot. But as we can see, Everton were the ones that got the Europa Conference League spot because I believe that means that they won the Carabao Cup. But if you guys look at the letters next to the club name, qualified for the Champions League. So we definitely won something. But we went 18, 10, and 10, 67 goals for, 43 against, 24 goal differential. Liverpool, unbelievable season once again. Man City closing the gap on them. A couple teams closing the gap. And Leicester City also had a good season. And Southampton. But we actually just missed out on 6th place by 3 frickin' goals. So that's unfortunate. But let's see how we qualified for the Champions League. How about that? Europa League, we only gone and won the thing. How about that? We did get knocked out early in the 3rd round of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, but the Europa League was the main thing I was concerned with. That is why I brought in an army of players to make sure that we could compete in the league, which we did. We still finished top 8, which I will definitely take, finishing 5th. Then finishing in 7th, top 8 spots both times. And we won the Europa League, which is the first major trophy, I believe, since 1969. I might be wrong on that, but I think that is the first major trophy won under Newcastle United since 1969. And the last major trophy won that isn't a Sky Bet Championship, obviously, was a Europa League title. So that is absolutely awesome. So looking at how things went down, we can see Callum Wilson right here, leading goal scorer with 11 goals. Player of the match performances, Alan St. Maximin was in there with 3 of them, so that's awesome. But we were in Group C. We were in there with Celtic, Union Berlin, and Dinamo Zagreb after we bought Dominic Livakovic from them. And unfortunately, they did not get a single point, and it's probably because we bought their goalkeeper from them. But it helped us out. So that's a win for us. So, first round knockout, obviously by topping the group, we were able to go through because the clubs that get knocked out of the Champions League, finishing in third, they drop down to this round, and that is where these teams come in. So, we had a bye to the second knockout round. And in the second knockout round, we had to play AFC Ajax. So, that was definitely not an easy matchup as we only edged them out 1-0. So very, very interesting matchup there. Then we get to the quarterfinal and over 2 legs. We beat Bayer Leverkusen 5-4 on aggregate, which that is very, very tight. So the second match was 3-3. So that is as someone just subscribed. But thank you, Power Dragon. I appreciate it while we're recording video. But we knocked out Bayer Leverkusen here on aggregate score of 5-4. And then in the semifinal, we had to play fellow English club West Ham United. So we absolutely trounced them, beating them 5-1 on aggregate, which is absolutely massive, which sets up a final of Newcastle United and Feyenoord. And then in the final, we won 4-1, which is absolutely incredible. Karim Ekchikoglu scored in the 3rd minute, Alan St. Maximin in the 45th and 49th, and Duje Kaleta-Kar in the 85th. I'll go ahead and play these highlights here real quick for you guys. All right, so we looked great within that Europa League final. Very, very happy with the performance. We get Champions League football next season as well. But looking at how the squad performed overall, Jacob Murphy in the one game that he played, he has a 7.8 because he scored a goal, which is very nice. Thank you for contributing, sir. But Musa Niakate with 2 goals and 1 assist, 7.32 average rating. Alan St. Maximin, 20 goals and 8 assists on a 7.29. Boubacar Kamara chipped in with a goal, 4 assists, 7.27. Duje Kaleta-Kar, 4 goals, 2 assists, 7.24. Mr. Ludovic Blas with 11 goals and 14 assists with a 7.22. Kieran Trippier, 7 assists, 7.21. Callum Wilson, 26 goals and 1 assist. How do you do, sir? 7.19. Dominic Livakovic with a 7.11. Being an absolute unit for us in net, playing every single match as well. Did not miss a single one. Absolute Iron Man. Then Karim Adeyemi and Karim Ekchikoglu, both with 14 goals, both with 11 assists. Karim Adeyemi with a 7.10 and Karim with a 7.05, and then Devin Wrench with a 7.01 average rating with 2 assists. And then Renan Lodi, 4 assists, 6.96, and that's where it kind of dropped off average rating-wise. But everyone chipped in. The one thing I'm not too happy with is that Brenner only started 4 matches and came on as a sub in 11 and only scored 1 goal. So we're most likely going to be moving him on. So only 3 signings in this transfer window, all very, very good buys. And I brought in another center back, buying him from Galatasaray, Mr. Victor Nelson. Very, very solid center back. Great defensively, good in the air again. Very strong as well. Had to bring him in because we were losing Dan Burn. So lose a center back, bring a center back in. Very happy with this purchase. £14.75 million. I think is a very, very solid deal. I mean, especially for a player that averages a 7.47 over the season in the league. 2 goals, 4 assists, 4 goals, 4 assists, all competitions. Continental-wise, he had a 7.16, average rating of a 7.40 for 14.75 million pounds. I will definitely take that deal. So, second signing, playmaker that can also play as a center attacking mid. I wanted some more assists to come our way, hopefully, this season. And for 20 million pounds, I brought in Irfan Cankaveci from Fenerbahce. So he had 4 goals, 6 assists in the league for Fenerbahce, which I think, in my opinion, very, very solid performance overall. He had like a 7.16 average rating. And this guy's technical stats are beautiful. That is exactly what I want in a playmaker. He can dribble. He's great at corners. First touch is great. Free kick taking great. So we have a set piece specialist now for us in Irfan Cankaveci. And he has good passing and technique with 15 vision as well. Only thing is that he isn't good with both feet, but I will definitely take a left-footed midfielder as they're kind of rare to find nowadays. And then I bought a player that could kind of play a little bit everywhere. Everybody knows who this guy is. And I was very happy to get a deal done for 20 million pounds from Atlanta United, which I'm very happy this kid's playing in MLS. Mr. Thiago Almada. He can play as a left winger, right winger, center attacking mid, central midfielder, and striker if need be. So for 20 million pounds for someone that is that versatile at 22 years of age, if we were to go longer than the 3 seasons, this guy would be a talisman for us. I mean, him, Karim Adeyemi, Karem, and Alan St. Maximin, that would be absolutely insane attacking wise. Now, I did end up selling Brenner, sold him for 12.5 million pounds, which is a profit of, I believe, 4 million pounds on the dot for what we paid for him. So, hey, we're doing true Moneyball. If we sign people, we're finding ways to make a profit off of them. Very, very happy about that. But now, let's simulate through season 3. Yeah, season 3, final season. Let's see what we can do in the Champions League. Hopefully, we can at least get out of the group stages because, I mean, now we're playing against the big dogs. So it'll be very, very interesting. And we have the Super Cup. So hopefully we can give whoever we end up playing a run for their money in that match. All right, so the final season, we finish in 6th place. So all 3 seasons combined, we finished in 5th, 7th, and 6th. So we are definitely solidified a top 8 team, and I would definitely argue a top 6 team within the league now. And we've gone about it the Moneyball way, which is definitely going to be very different than how Newcastle do it in reality. And I mean, Liverpool have an absolute tycoon on the league right now. They've won it all 3 years. They won it on 93 points this time. And unfortunately, we could have finished top 4 if we lose 2 less games. We lose 2 less games, win 2 more games, we can finish top 4, which would have been absolutely awesome. But hey, if we were going to go into a season 4, we would have Europa League football again. The last time we were in the Europa League, we know what happened. We won it. We done and gone the whole one thing. Nope, that ain't English. What I was trying to say was we done and gone and won the whole darn thing. There we go. I can English. I got it that time. But we finished in 6th. Very, very happy with how we did in this season. Looking at overall competitions, we got knocked out in the knockout rounds of the Champions League. So we'll definitely take that. We got through the group stage. We'll definitely have to see who is in our group because we got knocked out by the big money giants of PSG and their new manager, owner, coach, player, Kylian Mbappe. And then we lost the European Super Cup, unfortunately. We lost it to Liverpool. Do you imagine that? Liverpool beat us 3-0. And they have Paulo Dybala. They actually wouldn't be that bad. They have Frank Kessie as well. Holy. All right, no wonder why Liverpool are winning the league. But we got knocked out in the 5th round of the FA Cup, which is unfortunate. 3rd round by Chelsea, which is, once again, unfortunate. But Champions League, we got knocked out in the first knockout round. So let's find our group. We were in a group with AC Milan, AS Monaco, and Shakhtar Donetsk. So we did pretty solid. We finished second in the group. We beat Shakhtar, Milan, and AS Monaco, and then we also lost to AS Monaco, Milan, and Shakhtar. Shakhtar we lost to by a goal, Monaco 2 goals, Milan 3. But then we beat Shakhtar by 2, beat Milan by 2, beat Monaco by 1. So that was a very even group, actually. So I'll definitely take going through, and then we got knocked out in the first round by PSG on a score of 5-3 on aggregate, which, I mean, that definitely hurts. But against a team like PSG, it's understandable. They've got Neymar, they've got Messi. Poch is still their coach, and it looks like Mbappe's gone, but they replaced him with Joao Felix. So they still have an incredible young player there. But now looking at the team overall and how we did in all competitions, I was right to bring in Irfan Cankaveci, because look at what the man did. It's exactly what I wanted. 5 goals and 14 assists. 7.34 average rating. Love seeing that. Moussa Niakate, a goal and 2 assists, 7.27. Karim Adeyemi taking over that starting job, I guess, from Callum Wilson, being that he has 28 goals and 7 assists, unless he's just banging them in from one of the wings. Then we got Livakovic, who had an assist. That's awesome, 7.22. He missed a game this season, though. He missed a game this season. That is, actually, it's probably because we played less games. That's probably it. But Jamal Lascelles was up there for coming on as a sub. He got a 7.20. We got Duje Kletakar, 2 goals, 7.17. Victor Nelson, 3 goals, 3 assists, 7.16. Kieran Trippier, 3 goals, 5 assists, 7.11. Joe Willock actually got some games this time around. Boubacar Kamara with a goal and 3 assists, 7.07. Joe Linton, 3 goals, 4 assists, 7.03. Callum Wilson. So I guess, yeah, Kareem had to have been playing on one of the wings, because Callum Wilson with 24 goals, 6 assists, 7.03. Still putting in a decent performance. And Bruno Guimaraes, 4 goals, 6 assists, 7.01. Then you have Karim with 6 goals, 7 assists. And Mr. Alan St. Maximin with a 4 and 11, both on a 6.93. Same with Thiago Almada. He had 8 goals and 4 assists. So very happy with how the team performed overall, especially through all 3 seasons. So with this Moneyball rebuild with Newcastle United, we did not break a single rule. We added a trophy to the trophy cabinet, the first major trophy since 1969, I believe. I will have fact-checked myself throughout the video, so if that was right, I'll put a green check mark on the screen right now. But we won the Europa League, followed every rule I set, and we have left Newcastle in a much, much better place than we found it, because, I mean, this team looks very, very good, and to have a very bright future. We've solidified them, in my opinion, as a top 6 team with a 5th place, 7th place, 6th place finish. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this rebuild. If you guys enjoyed this Moneyball type rebuild with Newcastle United, if you guys want to see more rebuilds like this in the future, because I really, really enjoyed doing this rebuild with Newcastle United and going about it the Moneyball way. So maybe next rebuild, we try and do it a 200 IQ type one, to where I do not miss a single signing. So that would actually be a pretty interesting one. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys would like in the next rebuild video. But if you guys did happen to enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so why not hit that sub button? And until next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.